This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, everybody. This is the Mark Weber, and that is Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And you'll notice that there's no Dave Oster here, but that's okay.
Yeah, our fear-filled host is not here.
Yeah.
He got too
Fearless.
fearful. No, he says fear-filled.
Yeah, that's true.
Brandon-
that's true.
Brandon
It's been a while
is-
since I've been here.
Brandon is our fearful host. That's what I think. Your fearless host, Brandon Swanson.
There you go.
Dave is your fear-filled host.
So in case you're wondering what the hell you're listening to right now, this is Too Old to Game. We might be old as hell, but we don't care.
Hey, man, I'm not 30 yet.
You're getting there.
I am getting there. I'm 2 years away, and it
You're
scares
getting there
me.
before you know it. We have, a good amount of stuff to talk about. We got some fun topics to talk about. We're going to talk about Fortnite tutors. We're going to talk a little bit about Madden 19. They got into the news for some bad reasons at the very beginning of the NFL's preseason. We'll talk a little bit of Black Ops, and we'll see where it goes from there. There's definitely some stuff going on to talk about.
And I mean, for me, I've got a special announcement to make on my personal end.
All right.
Today, moments before you showed up to the podcast,
Moments before?
I finally made the purchase I said I was going to make.
You're Spider-Man?
I have pre-ordered my special edition or limited edition PlayStation Pro with the Spider-Man game, all the bundles. September 7th, it'll be at my house, and I can't wait to play it.
Well, that's good for you.
I'm going to take off work that day and just play it all day.
There you go. I mean, why not? There's a certain value to that because, like, when you were in college, of course, you would
You
just
didn't go to class.
Yeah, you didn't go to class. It was easy.
Or high school. It's just, I'm not going to school that day.
It was just so easy to say, class today, no. Now you have to actually take a vacation day or
feel
a
good.
sick day.
That's usually what I do.
A little bit of some news, and by news I mean housekeeping for those of you who are listening or watching on YouTube. Please go ahead and hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button so that way you know when there's more gaming news. And if you're excited for us to talk about Madden because you really love football, well, check out the Onside Kick podcast too, where you can hear more about football. There's basketball as well. There's college sports. There's just nerd culture in general. There's a ton of stuff for you to check out on Most Valuable Podcasts. And you can find all of it on mostvaluablepodcast.com, which is our website where not only can you see what we got going on, but you can also go ahead to the store and get yourself a nice t-shirt. So if you are wanting to wear a t-shirt because all your shirts are dirty and you don't feel like doing laundry, just go ahead and buy yourself an MVP t-shirt. You can also go to patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast where you can go ahead and be a patron, and you can even pay to be on this very podcast where you can talk about games and all that fun stuff with us.
You can be the first, too. We've never had one.
Yeah, we've had plenty on the other shows, but not one on this show just yet. I want to jump into the Fortnite tutors or coaches.
We have to.
Because it's just an interesting little thing that's happening.
So dumb. It's so dumb.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it completely yet. But basically, there are parents out there who are apparently sick of their children complaining about how much they suck at Fortnite, to where they are actually going out to the company I see is Gamer Sensei. I don't know if it's really a company or just like a place where people can post. Like where you post to find a babysitter.
Whatever happened to the good old days where just you played a game long enough and you got good enough, and when you hit your ceiling, you hit your ceiling.
But if everybody else is also doing that and everybody increases, then everybody's at their ceiling, you still suck. You still suck compared to the rest.
It's what we are seeing in gaming right now because of esports is the same thing we've been seeing in sports forever. Not everyone can go pro.
Yes, exactly.
Just because you have a PlayStation or have a computer does not mean you could be a pro gamer.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking, that fun chart that's like this many high school athletes become NCAA athletes. This many NCAA get drafted. I was looking at those fun things the other day where it's like football 1%, basketball like 2%.
Yeah.
It's just these ridiculous things where it's like nobody goes on. I think women's basketball, had the fewest, but probably because they have the fewest teams in the pros. But anyways, I think that you brought up that great point for it. And with this and with now, we talked about it a little bit before. And for anybody who doesn't know, you can get scholarships to go to college to be an e-gamer.
There are more and more colleges that are picking it up.
And they're going, there's going to continue to be more and more of them. And you might not get, the Ohio State or something like that. It might not be the huge schools. It's a lot of those smaller private schools because they're trying to find some way to target some kids.
Yeah.
But this might be that thing where it's like, when we joke about the quarterback from the suburban middle class or maybe upper middle class family where their dad and mom can pay for him to have a throwing coach at the age of 8, and then he's a quarterback forever and becomes this talented quarterback compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I guess maybe this kind of helps with that, right? Like maybe you figure like an investment of $20 an hour to maybe get a scholarship.
It's not, though, $20. And I'm going to read you an excerpt here. So I'm looking at a Polygon article where it's an opinion piece, but in that this is from the Wall Street Journal. And I'll tell you a story about JD. You ready for this? Each Sunday night, JD Giles and his 10-year-old son, Blake, look forward to their Fortnite lesson with a coach known as Convertible. Mr. Giles initially sought lessons for Blake.
Is it Chris Convertible FN Nara? Because I'm looking at his profile right now.
It just says Convertible. That's all it says.
$21.25 an hour.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to get to that. Mr. Giles initially sought lessons for Blake as a birthday gift. Then he got hooked. Our skills were nowhere near where we needed them to be. And the sales executive from Kuma GA... said the sales executive from Coming GA. He spent 45 on three 1-hour sessions. So that's a little under what, 20 an hour?
It says 21 right here. No, they said
it's 45 for 3 hours basically.
Oh, that's actually that's not that bad. I mean, you're basically spending like $15.
Okay. Yeah, 45 for 3 1-hour sessions and has committed to at least 3 more for himself and Blake. The investment is already paying off. Within 1 week, I actually got a solo win, Mr. Giles said. The other dads I play with congratulated me. I earned a little credibility with my son and his friends, and my wife and daughter made fun of me. That is the response to do. You paid, and oh my God, I got a win. I am going to laugh at you. That the mom and better. The mom and daughter are having the right reaction here. I
don't know. I mean, without a doubt, it's silly. There's no doubt about that.
It's very silly.
The one thing I can respect a little bit from this particular story is that it's a dad and a son doing it together.
There's that bonding thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
So like I can appreciate that.
You gotta pay to bond.
Well, I mean, you pay to go to a movie. Yeah. You pay to go to the batting cages.
But that's like the whole thing about Fortnite is it's free to play.
It is. So maybe it's not so bad to spend $45 for 3 hours.
I think it's stupid.
I do think it's silly.
Why not just sit there, play, and bond with your... Do you really need to win to bond with your son that much better? I mean... You guys can bond as losers.
Here's the thing, though. You've had those games where you suck and it's frustrating and you're like, fuck this game, I'm done.
Yeah. But then I put it down, come back, and I'm
Do you always come back, though?
Yes, I do. Overwatch, I have broke controllers.
You gotta work on that.
I do. There's this thing I do where I like squeeze the controller, and I've busted controllers in my hand.
Hulk smash that controller,
because I'll just squeeze it, and then it'll crack open. And I'm like, fuck, I busted another controller. But then I just put it down. I come back the next day. And I'm fine because I got a new team. I got a different team. Yeah. Maybe a team that doesn't suck.
I've had a few games where, like, I just am not good at this game. I'm just done. It's not worth it. And maybe part of that's now, like, being too old to game. To where it's like, I only got 3 hours to play.
Yeah.
I better have a game where I'm actually good at it or can enjoy it to an extent. I mean, that was the thing that I had. And I understand someone's going to yell at me in the comment section. Bloodborne, like the Dark Souls game, known for being incredibly difficult.
That's the permadeath, right? Where you die and you have to restart from zero.
And I'm just like, I'm not having fun. It's just not fun for me. I get it. I understand why it's fun for other people.
Yeah.
For me, no. I'm just done playing this game. I would not spend the money for someone to make me better. But, I mean, I guess are there tutorials and stuff online where it's like you could replace... Like, maybe those will help you get better?
You know what you can do that'll help you get better and you can save money? Just go watch a pro streamer. Like, if you are doing it just to get special tips, go watch Ninja play Fortnite and just see what is he doing. What can I do? You're not going to be Ninja, so don't think about that. but what is Ninja doing that maybe I can do to become better at the game? Oh, I didn't think about using that resource. Oh, I didn't think about using this strategy. You could do that, not have to spend your money, and not have to spend your money. That's basically the main point.
Which is nice.
That's the main component of why I think this is stupid. You're spending money to basically get better because it's like, do you really need to get better by paying someone to do it, or can you just put in the work and do it on your own?
Apparently they can't. Apparently they can't put in the work and do it on their own because they suck too much. I want to read some of the other games that you can get a tutor for. Fortnite, League of Legends, Dota 2, Hearthstone, Counter-Strike. We got PUBG, we got Overwatch, World of Tanks, Hero of the Storms, StarCraft 2, Elder Scrolls Legends, Smite, Paladins, and Rocket League. So you got a lot of games where you can do. I'm just curious to like press some of these other ones. There's 30 of those coaches. For Fortnite, 12.
Are you're on the actual site?
I'm on Gamer Sensei right now. There's probably other sites too. There's 12 tutors for Rocket League, 23 for PUBG. Overwatch has 82.
Okay.
Some of them, when you look at their pictures, I'm not saying this to insult them, but some of them, when you look at their pictures, I'm like, this person's probably not that much older than the kid that they're coaching.
Exactly.
It's like peer tutoring in school, if anybody remembers that fun stuff. A lot of pictures of dudes not really smiling and not really looking tough either. I don't know. That's just my... I saw one picture of somebody smiling. And I'm not going to look through all of them. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit silly. I'm not going to get mad at anybody for spending their money, but...
You can do whatever you want with your money, but I'm going to call you stupid for it. Like, that's where I'm at with this, to where it's like... The other side of it, though, like, these coaches...
Sounds like a good deal.
More power to you, man. Make money. Go make that cheddar.
It reminds
if someone's
me of,
going to give you money for it.
You know, I forgot some of the websites that people use. But like people will charge people to be their online DM for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess that's kind of cool. And there's so many of them that will specialize with young players, or not necessarily young, but inexperienced players, I should say. Where it's like, hey, you don't know what you're doing? I'll be your DM. I will guide you through this, and we'll have fun. So this is kind of opening up this new world in a sense of all these type of things that you can do. I mean, you can do online lessons for instruments. You can do it for English, you know, if you don't speak English. There's all those type of things. I guess it was only a matter of time before video games got in on the fun, and these people start saying, hey, I'll teach you how to play.
And I get there will be people that go, Ricky, you and Mark are both musicians. How can you tell me that you're okay with someone spending money to get better at an instrument, but not like, oh, don't spend money to get better at a video game? For me, this seems like it's out of my realm of comprehension. Because, I mean, maybe it's because, like, the esport thing is just starting. Like, it's been around.
Yeah, but it's gaining more and more steam.
It's gaining more steam. Overwatch League is just phenomenal. And that kind of helped it get on the mainstream. It's still weird seeing it on ESPN and stuff. Because I'm just not used to that. And I don't like that. I'd rather it be on, like, the Twitches, on just the Where Gamers Go. I don't like it being on ESPN. I feel like that's just a money grab for ESPN to try to...
Yeah, but if it gets more popularity to the streams and to gamers.
But, I mean, with this, I feel like it's just... I just don't understand it. And I'm like, I can't help but just be very, maybe ignorant and just be like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I would not do it if I was a parent.
A little bit of it where, you know, we are having to be aware of, we are those... older gamers. We're of a different generation of gaming, where I don't know, last time I was on this podcast 2 weeks ago, we talked about that, where it's like, oh, gaming was so much better when we were kids than it is now. You know, there's always that type of thing. It's just kind of a new age where, hey, maybe this will become something that's popular because it's getting to be acceptable to be, you know, a more competitive gamer, wanting to be a professional major league gamer. That's an acceptable thing to do now. So you can pay to have those coach, like you can pay to have golf lessons.
Well, like back in the day, like when we were kids, it was like if you were a gamer, it's like, I'm hiding in the shadows. Like,
once you got out of like middle school, it was not cool to play games anymore.
Wasn't. It was not. And it was like, you know what? Like, I'm a gamer, especially like World of Warcraft. It's like, all right, just going to sit in my basement, eat some potato chips, drink my Mountain Dew, and have a good time raiding tonight. Like, that's what it was.
Yeah. I get you, and that's exactly what it was too.
That was my entire high school career. I did go out and hang out with friends eventually.
Every once in a while, you know.
Then I came home and played World of Warcraft all night.
Yeah.
I did not sleep much in high school.
You didn't need to sleep. You don't sleep much now.
I slept in class. That's basically what I did.
You still don't sleep much. But, you know, it's just... I don't know if it's just one of those things where it's different and maybe it will become popular. Maybe it's just a fad and it's all going to go away. The hard thing I struggle with, if you're like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, and maybe there is an excuse that you use, and it might just have been an excuse to trick your parents of like, hey, you can get scholarships and stuff for this. But is Fortnite still going to be there?
Exactly.
For a 12-year-old by the time they're 18.
There will be a new game.
Yeah, is it going to be the new game and then it's like, well, we spent all this money for this tutoring and it doesn't matter anymore.
Because there's a new game that came out.
No one's playing this game competitively anymore, so it doesn't do anything for you.
The only one that I think is, I don't want to say kind of breaking that mold, but the only one we're not using that for is Overwatch. Because Overwatch has been here, 2-3 years now?
You're going to say Overwatch is like the it's going to last game?
Well, the reason why
because there's better examples of that.
No. The reason why I'm saying it's lasting right now is at this point, it's if you like Overwatch, you have kind of, to me, I feel like there's not a new surge of people going into Overwatch. Like if you like Overwatch, you play Overwatch. But the thing I like about that is they're constantly adding new heroes. They're making changes to the game where it kind of feels like the game is being updated every few months to where it feels like almost kind of a new game where you don't have to pay for it at all. The thing with Overwatch, and I've said this before on the podcast, the question that I have, what happens when that generational wall happens? Where it is, we are now on PlayStation 5, we are now on Xbox Scarlet. I think that's the next one that they're developing. That's their streaming system that Xbox wants. But the next Xbox, the next PlayStation, what's going to happen to Overwatch when we get to that point? That's what I think the wall Overwatch
I mean,
is.
you're going to have the same thing with Rocket League. You'll have the same thing with Fortnite. Are they just going to carry over and now Fortnite is this free game here, too?
And then you just got the computer game saying, like, Dota and League of Legends, hey, we're just here. Like, we don't have to worry about that over here,
and they're the ones
PC
that have
Master
just
Race.
stuck there forever. I mean, you got a game like Hearthstone where it's like, hey, just download it onto your phone, and you've got the app.
Or your desktop.
Yeah.
You can get it on your desktop, too.
Yeah, but it's just so easy to have it on your phone, and then it's like, it doesn't matter what kind of phone I get because I downloaded it on the Apple app.
You just log into your Blizzard, and
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting. At the very least, it's an experiment in capitalism of you can get people to pay you money to do anything.
On the side of the actual coaches, more power to you. Like, if you can get paid for coaching someone in a game,
assuming a lot of them are like, in college or something like that. They just need a little bit of extra money.
Most of the pictures I were looking at were either young or just, the oldest was probably just out of college, I would say.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Yeah, so just a little bit of side cash. I mean, got to have that side hustle, right? What is a game, Ricky? And we're going to make the assumption that you're going to pay someone to be your tutor for one of these games. What is the game that you suck at and need a tutor for? What are you going to have a tutor for?
I don't really know.
Or a game you would just want to be better. Maybe even the best.
I'm going to say none.
See, you're ruining my thing. You got to pick. You got to pick a game. That's what I said. We're assuming that you're going to make one. You got to pick something.
And with this coach, I'm definitely going to be like an esport god, is what you're saying?
I mean, you're not necessarily going to be, the Tom Brady of esports.
If I pick Overwatch, is he going to get me to the Overwatch League?
You'll at least be Jay Cutler.
Will he get me to the Overwatch League?
Sure.
Will I at least be a reserve on the Spitfire?
Yeah. You'll be better than Chase Daniel was last night in the preseason game.
Then I will say Overwatch. Okay. Because that's probably the biggest game I play right now. That and WoW. But I don't need a tutor to teach me about WoW. I've studied enough of that game.
You would be the tutor for WoW.
I would be the tutor.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you look at some of the games that are options, I mean, it's like I mean, I guess, I would probably pick something that I have no knowledge of right now. Because I think it'd be... Oh, I do kind of suck at Rocket League. I have no problem admitting that I'm not good at Rocket League, and I would take that. Or, you know what? Just go for something completely new and be like, dude, I've never played League of Legends. Teach me how to play League of Legends. I had no fucking clue what I'm doing. I don't know a single thing about that game.
But League of Legends, I played it once. It was, so Dave and his online friends were like, he's like, hey, you should play with us. I played one game.
Yeah.
I was really bad because it was my first time. And they were just the most toxic people in the world where I said, fuck it, I'm not playing this game anymore.
I've heard that before, that like if you're new going into that game,
I'm like, screw
you're
this.
going to have a really bad time.
I'm like, screw this. Dave's like, well, just practice on the practice dummies. Fuck that. I want to play the game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, Allen Iverson, we ain't talking about practice.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And there's some of those games that are shooters and stuff where they'll let you play against bots, and that's okay. But there's always it doesn't really feel like
unless
the
you
game.
have a YouTube channel where you're like demonstrating the attacks and stuff or the damage meter for stuff. How many of you who play Overwatch actually use the practice arena? I'm going to say not many, and if you say you are, you're lying. That's what I believe. Like, you're going to get in, you're going to play the game because that's what you want to do. You want to play against other people, not against a stupid robot that just stands there. It might move. Some of them move, some of them just stand there.
Some of them just stand there and wait.
Please, sir, can I have another rocket to the face?
Yeah, right. The two games that I liked the bots for, one being Time Splitters 2.
Okay.
Because
never played that one.
Oh, it's an amazing game. I wish you had played it. Well, it was like...
What system did you play it on?
I played it on PlayStation 2.
Okay.
But you could have played it on your GameCube.
Okay. I had both.
You did. No, the thing I liked about it was like you could have these very big death matches and King of the Hill, capture the flag. But by that,
it looks like I'm looking.
It looks like a PS2 game.
Not just that, it looks like an early 2000s game.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like you could. I didn't have I had dial-up internet at this time. I wasn't going to play online, and you could play online on the PS2, but I knew one person who did. So you weren't going to do that. So you could just play,
Well, you needed a special adapter for the big, thick one. The thin one had it built right in. The Ethernet cord.
I knew one single person that did it, and one day he was like, you want to play this game online? And I'm like, the fuck does that mean? What are you talking about? You could do that? And
you can play games online?
We played a game of Madden online, and it was like, I had no idea this existed. This is amazing.
So, the health bars, they ripped it completely straight from GoldenEye.
Nice.
With the one health bar here, the shield on the other side, same colors too. Like I'm looking at like still shots, and I'm like, really?
Why rebuild the wheel?
Really?
That was a great game. I love that game.
Was it just a shooter like Overwatch where you're running around trying to shoot other people?
Well, I mean, it was like it had a campaign, like there was a story, but yeah, it's just a first-person shooter.
Okay.
You're going through time, so that was the fun thing. Like you would unlock these people, and like you get some people from the 20s, you get some people from the future. Here's some aliens, and it was just this random little thing. My favorite, if I remember right, his name was Crispin. Let me know if I'm wrong down below. Okay. He was like a zombie or something, but he basically just looked like a piece of shit. Like he looked like a little turd, a walking turd, and that was awesome. The other game I liked the bots for actually was I'm blanking on the name now. What was the came out for Xbox One and it had the robots? It was really cheap too, but
you're talking about Xbox One?
Yeah, you would be like you could get into a robot.
Oh, the mech suits and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, that game was fun too, and I'm really blanking on the name right now.
Well,
but that game had bots too because you had the actual people you're playing online against. Titanfall. And then it had some bots to fill out the teams.
I thought you were talking about such an older game.
Like
and then
Gundam?
Yeah.
I love
Gundam.
it's
a game I loved on the original Xbox?
What's that?
Cell Damage. Did you ever play that one?
I never had an Xbox. So.
Oh, Cell Damage was awesome. It was basically like... It was almost like a Twisted Metal style game where you're in the car running around, like driving around trying to kill the other people. And it was a cartoony style. And like, for example... You'd pick up the special attacks and stuff. And one of them was, for example, the one card, like for the attack, had a huge axe that you would just do that to, and it would split the opponent in half.
Nice.
And it was like a cartoony version of like a Twisted Metal style game.
Now, talking about competitive games, although this one's not necessarily a, Major League Gaming type of esports game, it's more just popular on Twitch and YouTube and everything like that.
Like an Overwatch, like a League of Legends.
Yeah, so Black Ops 4, and I can't believe we are on Black Ops 4, has...
Battle Royale mode, baby.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all for it.
You going to get the beta?
No, I haven't bought a Call of Duty game in years.
Well, I think it's free open beta. You just sign up for it. And
but I thought you had to pre-order. I don't know. Maybe you do.
Maybe I missed that part, and I just said I saw free beta and was like, ooh, ignore everything else.
I'll take free. But even if it was a free beta, I probably still wouldn't. Just because I know I'm not going to play the actual game. So
I'm gonna buy it.
Bother? But so Black Ops 4, they've made some changes, and they're fairly significant changes, I would say, especially to the multiplayer experience. And you're excited about some of these.
I am. So do you mind if I do a little bit of reading? So this is going to be some lengthy stuff, but I'm going to do it anyways. 2 changes, and this is from a Polygon article by Austin Goslin, who wrote this article. The first one is they're slowing things down. Black Ops 3 was a game mostly marked by its movement between running along walls, boosting through the air, and gliding around in hopes of the perfect headshot, which I hated, by the way. This is me editorializing. I hated that, by the way, with the last Call of Duty. Everything in Black Ops 3 had an unstoppable sense of momentum and a disorienting bare neck pace. It was a bold choice by developer Treyarch in an attempt to redefine what Call of Duty multiplayer could be, but it never quite felt right. While Call of Duty has, since Modern Warfare, cleverly blended the fast-paced quick kills of arcade shooters with the delicate tactics of simulation games, Black Ops 3 seemed to be losing the balance, falling a little too far to the arcade side of what most players liked. In an attempt to remedy that, the team at Treyarch has purposely slowed things down. As they put it at the game's reveal event back in May, Black Ops 4 is 100% boots to the ground. This latest game trades out some of its predecessor's immense speed in favor of a gameplay that feels much more deliberate. The other thing they're doing, you don't heal automatically anymore. The most important of those decisions comes thanks to Black Ops 4's completely new health system. Rather than the regenerating health of previous entries in the series, Black Ops 4 requires players to use a syringe every time they want to heal. While on its face, this may seem like an inconvenience, in reality, it means that you can get your health back much faster than before. But you have to choose to do that. It also provides a sense of control that never had been present in a Call of Duty game. Suddenly, every fight you win becomes a choice. Do you want to replenish your missing health or reload your gun to get ready for another enemy to show up?
Now, I honestly don't think this is going to change much of anything.
See, I'm on the other side.
The first parts I do, like the slowing stuff down, the changing speed, because I was not about that at all. I had zero interest in that because I was like, you had your thing, Call of Duty. You don't need to try and be Halo, Titanfall. You don't need to try and do any of that.
Yeah.
You be you and let them be them.
Yeah.
But the thing with the healing, as soon as I were to fire one single bullet, I reload. So my thought is, if I take any health damage, the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is heal. And I do agree, and I know you're going to say that, well, it's not going to be, boom, healed. It's going to be, all right, here we go, taking out the syringe, putting it in my arm, pressing the button, and we're good to go.
Mark's just going to take it so I never have to say a word.
I don't want you to say anything. I just want to dominate the conversation. So I really don't think that's going to change that much. I mean, sure, if somebody's coming around immediately after and is going to shoot you, then yes. But you already were low health anyways. You weren't going to be having the time to recharge. I severely doubt that the time to do this syringe is going to be longer than your auto heal. It's just that you have to now press a button to do it.
See, I think it will be. And the thing that is going to be interesting with this is with Call of Duty before, with the auto healing, it was all right, I'm getting into a gun battle with somebody. Okay, now I just need to, I can still run around because I can heal. Unless it's like, oh my God, I know someone's over there. I got to run and hide. Now it feels like with me, with this, and I could be wrong when we get the game, but it feels almost like if you want to heal, you're going to have to do the, all right, I'm shooting. Like me and this guy going one-on-one. All right, I got to hide because I got to hit myself with that syringe to give me health because I feel like if you hit that syringe, it's going to make you vulnerable. And Call of Duty is a game where
reloading would have made you vulnerable as well.
I think it's going to be, and if I'm them, they're going to make it slower than a reload. I think they will make it quicker to reload than it would be to hit the syringe.
I wouldn't be surprised by that, but I still don't think it's going to be much of a difference in the auto heal anyways. The auto heal already took a while. You know, I would crouch down and hide for a little bit while the red on the side of the screens went away. I think that's going to be about the same length of time. And they still do the power-ups and stuff like that where you get to pick 3 of them for your kill streaks.
They usually do the perks.
So I imagine that one of those perks is going to be really fast healing. And you're probably going to just always have that.
But the thing that changes that is the auto heal, while that's going away, someone could shoot at you. But if they miss, you could still shoot at them while you are healing. With this, I'm assuming once you get that syringe,
you
can't shoot back.
Stuck.
Yeah. You're like a fish out of water almost. Or you're a sitting duck.
In that same thing, if you're saying that they're missing at you and that's why you had the chance to shoot back, they're still missing at you.
I'm just using the point of you can still shoot while you're rehealing. With this, it's you have a dedicated. I'm feeling it's going to be dedicated action.
Oh yeah, I mean your arms are occupied.
Yeah,
unless you're going to have a gun in this hand and just sure, why not? So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm glad that they're trying something different because Call of Duty games. The main complaint people have is the same game every year. Despite 3 different developers, it still manages to be the same game every time.
Because the thing that I love most about it is it feels like it's trying to take the hardcore approach and bring it into the regular in a way. Because I would always play hardcore because A, there's no mini maps. B, bullet damage is increased. C, there's no regen. You don't regen health. And it kind of feels like they're taking that, bringing it into the normal game mode. But it's like, oh, you have a choice. If you want to heal, you can. But if you get into this fight and you feel like there's someone coming around, I'm going to reload that gun. I'm going to get an exit plan to let me get to that area first before I hit that heal. Let me get to this hiding spot before I hit the heal.
It's not going to happen, and I don't even want it to happen. But a fun little case study, if someone was very interested, is to check out the kill-death ratios. Do they lower or become more even with each other because people are getting killed more because of the healing, because they're stuck? Or are people just not willing to heal because they don't want to risk another person coming around the corner, and therefore they're getting killed more often because they have less health? I'm just interested to know if that's going to change what people's kill-death ratios would be.
And we're also talking mainly in a sense of free-for-all and deathmatch. What if it's a sense in like Domination or King of the Hill, where it's basically, all right, I am for like Domination, all right, I got to control this point. I can still fire while I am regenning health, where this is, all right, do I reload, still be able to shoot and defend this point, or do I go to heal?
Yeah.
By doing so, they can get closer and try to ambush me at the point.
Like a capture the flag or something like that. You
Exactly.
can't, your hand's occupied. What are you going to do? Put it under your shoulder and grab your syringe? I don't think they're going to let you do that.
And that's the thing. I think it's going to be very different for different game modes. But initially, we were just thinking about it in a free-for-all.
Because that's what most
deathmatch.
people play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like with me, I go team deathmatch, some free-for-all, gun game, and then maybe domination. If I'm domination,
and obviously it's
going
to have an impact on the 6 to 8 hour campaign or whatever, however long it's going to be. Where there's going to be that added level of frustration when people first start playing of, oh, I got to actually heal myself. I got to remember that. I got to keep that in my head. because that changes things. But I'm happy for them that they're going to try something new. It's the same thing I said with the King of the Hill mode, Battle Royale, with the huge thing. Yeah, that's what people want. Try something different. Don't be stale, because people complain about the same game over and over again. So I'm glad you're doing something to keep it fresh, because this is Black Ops 4. There have been 4 of these damn things. And how many Call of Duties have there been?
Battle Royale mode wasn't enough, Dave? Or Mark?
Yeah, Dave is about the Battle Royale.
I am so used to Dave being on the other side of the table and you not being here.
Yeah. Well, Dave's not really on this side of this table very often. Let's be real here.
No, but for Too Old to Game, he's always on that side of the table.
Yeah, well,
I think you are
now.
I think you are the first non-Dave host on this podcast.
And the best non-Dave host on this podcast, I would say. And I think some would agree. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're changing some stuff to it. Go ahead and give it a shot. Anything else that you want to say about Black Ops?
The thing I am still very excited for is that Battle Royale mode. From what I hear, it may not be 100 players, but from what it looked like in the little kind of the beta trailer that they put out, at the end of that, they had 13 seconds of Battle Royale. And to me, it looked very, very much of not, all right, it's 60 people, 1v1, v1, v1. It looked like, oh, these guys are on a truck. It looked very squad-based compared to the free-for-all solo Battle Royale.
And maybe that's a way to do it. The solo one has 30, 40 people in it, where your squad, all right, now we can have a lot of people because we're getting chunks to join this instead of having to wait for 100 people to join a lobby and for them to stay in the damn lobby.
But I am excited to be able to, maybe it's a little Halo-y, but like, we're going to use this Jeep. We're going to be able to fly a helicopter in this Battle Royale mode.
Which is, I would hope, maybe a different shooter will learn from this with Battlefront, not Battlefield, the Star Wars one.
I'm talking about Star Wars. Battlefield. Yeah, Battlefield is also adding a Battle Royale mode.
Everybody will. But, I hope that Battlefront, not Battlefield, the Star Wars one, which will be Battlefront 3
That's going to be one of our next shirts. Battlefront, the Star Wars one.
Yeah, the Star Wars one. We get sued by 2 different things, Battlefront and Star Wars being on that shirt. But I hope...
There's a space, man.
Yeah.
Battlefront. The Star Wars one.
The Star Wars one. It's creative licenses. One thing I loved about those, Battlefront 2... specifically was I loved when you could have you play in space and you can get out when you get into their base. You get out of your spaceship and you start running around shooting people. Yeah. And that's one thing I do really like about Battlefield as well, the not Star Wars game. The fact that you would, get in a big old tank or get in something and you had like these huge fields to it. And I didn't play a ton of Battlefront with the new 2 games that came out. I played a little bit, but not a ton. And I was somebody that, and I don't want to say defended, but I was someone who was very willing to give it every shot that it seemingly deserved. And it just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel like the old games. So maybe with Battlefield doing it, with Call of Duty doing it now, man, so many different games.
I like how you're really like pausing, like, I gotta say the right battle game.
Because if you don't, someone's going to get mad. They're jumping in on this, so maybe they go more into that and get really back into some of those type of things with Battlefront as well. Yeah. I would hope. I need a good Star Wars game. I have not had a good Star Wars game in forever, and it really kind of disappoints me. In that case, I was thinking about it
What's
earlier.
The last good one you had?
The last good Star Wars game, unless I'm missing something, probably Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
Now, Knights of the Old Republic 2 was
never
cool
a Knights guy. I was never a Knights of the Old Republic guy.
So awesome. Such a great game. I mean, if you like a nice RPG, lots of choices and stuff like that, I mean, it was a precursor to Mass Effect, essentially.
That's what I was going to say. Very Mass Effect-y.
That game was great. It was just, it's fun to play as a Jedi, and it's not just I hit X and I swing the thing. There's plenty of people out there who'll probably say The Force Unleashed would be like their last Star Wars game that was good. I thought it was fine, but it wasn't KOTOR.
Just thought it was all right.
It wasn't KOTOR.
Yeah.
You know, let's be real
look
about that.
at Mark getting into the whole acronym, KOTOR.
That's the way to do it. I've been waiting since we've had EA having these licenses to be able to make Star Wars games. I'm just sitting here going, where are they?
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Loot boxes.
And you haven't given me any.
Loot boxes.
Yeah, you've given me 2 Battlefronts that were not as good as the PlayStation 2 era Battlefronts.
Littered with loot boxes.
Yeah, a little bit of help here would be nice. A little bit of something. Just, you know what we want? We want an RPG where we can be Jedis again. Make it happen. That's all I really care about right now, is I want that again. But it's never going to happen.
You don't think so? Never going to happen?
Well, I don't think they would make another KOTOR because they kind of had
It'd be KOTOR 3, right?
I don't know, though. I mean, they might just go a completely different thing.
Okay.
There was 2, so
Yeah,
3 would be the
KOTOR
next
3.
way to go. But it's completely different developers and stuff.
True.
They probably wouldn't. I'm just more of thinking they tried really hard to make the Old Republic work, and it kind of didn't. And I played the Old Republic. I had fun with it for a little bit. It had some good stories and stuff like that, but it wasn't the WoW killer that they wanted it to be. And it, really got underwhelmed.
You brought up the magical word, WoW killer. Just when are games going to realize, just be yourself, you're not going to kill WoW?
Yeah, I wish that people would stop trying to be
there
WoW
will
killers.
There will be no
WoW killer.
Exactly. Like League of Legends, when that came out, oh, this is going to be the WoW killer. WoW is still going strong. Oh, this is going to be the WoW killer. Didn't kill WoW. Like, WoW is going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. Blizzard came out and even said, yeah, we're going to come out with a new expansion. Oh, by the way, we're going to re-release the vanilla game so that you old people can play it like you liked it back in the past. And we were all like, here's our money.
Yeah.
Just take it. Give us old WoW.
Exactly.
Give us vanilla WoW.
And it's just so like...
When I got 2 levels in a week, and I was like, man, that was a good week. That was a really good week, man.
This is fantastic. When anybody tries to claim that they are the WoW killer, I just immediately say, you're going to flop.
Yep.
It never works. When you try and be a WoW killer, it does not work.
It almost reminds me of like, I'm going to be the WoW killer. It's kind of like Butters. I guess it's a great idea. Simpsons did it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is on the other side. Like, you're not going to kill WoW. Just be yourself. There's nothing wrong with being yourself.
Yeah, you be something original.
Just let WoW be over here, and then you can do your own thing.
Because, I mean, at this point, if anybody's still playing WoW, and they are,
No,
they're not going to
trust me.
give up. They're not going to leave and go to something else.
Dave has already said numerous times that the expansion drops in 11 days, I think.
Nice.
11 days?
He's going to take like a 3-week vacation.
He's got a sabbatical for work.
There you
He's
go.
going to take his sabbatical to play WoW. That's a month of vacation.
That's impressive.
To play WoW.
That's impressive to be able to do. Aren't you jealous of Dave right now?
So in 11 days, if Dave stopped showing up to podcasts, we know why.
If he stops showing up to life,
yes,
we know why.
Basically, that's what I mean by showing up to podcasts, showing up to life. Dave will just be in his game room playing Battle of Azeroth the whole time, Battle for Azeroth the whole time.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Nobody's going to replace it. Nobody's going to be able to capture that magic.
This will just be the Mark and Ricky show.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like how, I think of WoW and just the magic of that. And we talked a little bit on the podcast a couple weeks ago about the magic of LAN parties and how that can never be replicated. You have things like Rock Band and the magic of those games together and how that can never be replicated. The magic of the original Wii Sports and how people would have parties. People who have never played games in their life would buy a Wii and have parties to play video games.
Exactly.
They're playing Wii Sports, bowling and shit like that. But it doesn't matter. They're still doing it,
Or like I don't know if you mentioned this, like the Garage or Guitar Hero and Rock Band games.
The battle. Well, yeah, I said Rock Band, but yeah, the battle between those two.
Yeah, where it's like, I remember in high school, we would go over to the one girl's house and 99.9% of the time we'd be like, let's bust out the it was the Guitar Hero that eventually was Rock Band, basically.
Yeah.
But it was like, hey, let's bust out the Guitar Hero, man. Bust out the microphone, bust out the drums, let's do this. And we would just play that all night.
Yeah, I mean, so many people were willing to jump on it, and people get mad about casual gamers and stuff like that. But, you know, people, like I said, who would never play video games.
It's becoming more
did
mainstream.
it.
You're going to get more casuals. Just accept it.
Yeah, of course. I remember having a teacher in high school. This isn't about Rock Band. This is about the Wii.
Yeah.
Who never played any game stuff. He would make fun of you if you played games. But every weekend he was having friends over to play his Wii Sports and stuff like that. And he would talk about the Miis that he would make, and he'd be like, "You're playing video games, man." And he's like, "No, it's different. It's a Wii." And like, no, that's a video game. Like, you are playing video games.
No, it's different. No one has this yet.
Yeah. And it's like, no, literally everybody has it. It's a damn Wii. It's cheap. Everybody's got it. And it's the talk of the town. Yeah, the Miis. Remember when PlayStation tried to make Miis?
No, I don't.
No, you don't remember that? PlayStation 3.
I remember the boxes for PlayStation 2.
That was cool.
The little blue boxes.
They would have, you could make, you know, I forget what they're called, but you can make your own, basically a Mii for the PlayStation 3 is what it was. And then you had a few games that you got to do something with them with, but really not much. They were pretty useless, essentially.
Was it the, what are they called? They use them now in the, like, Playbox thing.
Like the Avatar? Is that what we're thinking?
No, not the Avatar. They were like the little white, they were white or something. Is that what I'm thinking? I am totally off on something else.
I don't know. It's confusing at this point.
Yeah.
But they had something too, and I remember like an Xbox I think might have had something as well, and everybody tried to get this same magic of the Miis, and everyone didn't actually care.
The thing that I'll never forget about Xbox is remember when they first came out with the Kinect?
Yeah.
And that was huge. They're like, oh, you put that bar there and it senses your motion, man. Woo! I can move around.
Because they did that because of the Wii, and then PlayStation had PlayStation Move, and it's like, you got to hold this weird thing with a ball on it.
It's a lightsaber, baby.
Yeah. And I don't know a single person who had a PlayStation Move.
No.
And everyone talked about it, and it was, that's a fad. It's going to end. It did. 3D gaming, it was a fad. It was going to end. That's why I do not buy on the VR shit. Because I'm like, it's a fad because all the other things have been fads. It's going to be over.
We talked about it a little bit last week with Oculus.
I remember that, like, this was years ago. I still lived with my parents. And there was a...
Mark humble brag there. That was a humble brag by Mark. Where it's like, when I used to live with my parents. I don't anymore, by the way.
Hey, I mean, when you own your own house, you got to do things like plumbing, and that shit's expensive.
It has seemed like longer than a year. I'll tell you what. It is
for what? That I haven't lived at home?
You've been A, married, B, living in a house.
This is our third year.
Is it?
In the house. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
This is year 3.
Marriage, it's just past the first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been married for over a year now.
I thought you guys moved in together 2 years before you got married?
This is our third year in the house.
So you lived together?
So we've successfully lived in the house for 2 years.
Okay.
We're on year 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were confused me a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't lived there for 3 years. We are in the third year.
Because Johnny and I were talking about it. And, I still have your save the date on my fridge. I'm still saving that date, Mark.
I think I still have the save the date on my fridge, too.
But I will never forget your wedding because the night before Spider-Man Homecoming, the day after Mark's wedding.
It's a great way to remember it.
We saw Spider-Man Homecoming on that Friday. The next day, Mark got married.
It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. But anyways, to bring it back to being old and gaming and stuff like that. But I remember...
Bringing down your street cred.
Yeah, I remember from E3 one of these years. They were making a big deal. There was this one game, and I have no idea, no recollection of what it was. But there was like a table, and the whole thing was that it was like VR on the table, and you can mess with this little world or something like that.
Okay.
And everyone was so excited about it, and it was so cool. And they're like, this right here, this is the future of gaming. You're going to be able to play real-time strategy games.
And Mark was like, it's a fad.
And I'm like, I don't care. That's nothing. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to know a single person that plays that game. And I didn't. I didn't know a single person that played it. I don't remember if it became anything or what happened with that. You know, we both bought PlayStation Eye cameras because of streaming. I don't remember where it is.
The PlayStation camera now, though, is way different. Better than the one. The one we first bought was like, it was not a cylinder. It was a square. It was like a square box.
Yeah.
And it was the biggest, like, chunkiest thing that I've ever seen. I'm like, this is the PlayStation camera. All right, I guess I need it to stream.
Yeah,
because the first time we ever did it, no face cam, and everyone's like, "Where's your face cam? Face cam, face cam, face cam."
You really want to see my face?
It's like, why do you want to see this? Usually people say I got a face for radio. Why do you want to see this?
Apparently, you've upgraded.
I have. I've upgraded to the big boys, the major leagues.
Yeah,
the show. I'm on the show.
You've made it to the big league.
The big leagues.
All right, Ricky, we got to finally get to a game that we're both kind of reluctantly excited about.
I'm not anymore. I saw that like Make Your Play skit commercial thing with like Nicki Minaj and Little Dicky and Joel Embiid is in there. I'm in. Sean
Madden
from Hot Ones is in there. I'm in.
Madden 19 is what we're talking about.
Sign me up. I'll pre-order it right now.
So essentially my thought from that commercial is I can make my own playbooks again. Because it used to be able to make your own playbooks.
Yes.
And what was the point of making your own playbooks?
You can be the offensive coordinator to the Dallas Cowboys. Lil Dicky. I am not reporting that.
I sure could. I sure could be. And I'm excited about that. I loved that. You know, I loved when you could do it in NCAA.
Let's be honest. They should have just went straight for the jugular and said, he's now being thought about to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
I would love it.
Because Jason Garrett's going to get fired.
No, never. That'll never happen. I would love to have that, and it kind of throws me back to the good old days when you could really mess with, you know, having some weird...
Like, really make your own play. Not just like, oh, I'm going to take these plays, where you can go in and, like, this is the route I want this to run. This is the route I want that to run.
And in this one, I'm just going to have all tight ends out there.
Yep.
You know, weird stuff that doesn't make any sense, but hey, you can do it, so why not? And it's Madden. It's an arcade game, essentially. So who really cares what you do? That's exciting. I'm excited for it. But what I want to talk about first with Madden 19 is Colin Kaepernick his name being cut from a song in the soundtrack. And people were mad about it. And I feel rightfully so, because why would you cut his name? Well, Madden says that essentially they thought they didn't have the rights to use his name.
Because he's no longer in the league.
But they were incorrect about that and are going to fix the problem because it has a soundtrack. That's why it doesn't matter. They're going to fix the problem by updating it, you know, whenever the game comes out, like right off the bat. It's probably the first update they're going to do because everybody has a day one update. So there's a little part of me, and maybe I need to grab and borrow your tinfoil hat, who says... You know, EA's got a good relationship with the NFL. The NFL does not like Colin Kaepernick.
Bingo. That was my first thought. This was a league thing.
This is too... It just smells too fishy. I don't buy it.
My first thought... Because we recorded Brandon's video before we recorded the podcast today. And Brandon brought it up to me. And my first thought was, oh, this is from the league. Because... This sounds a little shady. I'm going to take my tinfoil hat back here. Who's to say that the NFL doesn't go, you like having this partnership, right? Who's to say that if you don't do what we say or take his name out, we eventually go to someone else? You know, 2K is doing really good. I think 2K needs a football game. Maybe we do that. Maybe we do that, EA. We add some competition. Oh, we have it like, and this is for people that are like, what if they have a partnership? Oh,
they do.
You can still make your game. We're also going to sell our likeness to 2K. So just like how there's NBA Live and NBA 2K, there's now going to be Madden and 2K. Good luck with that. Good luck with that because you didn't like what we were doing. There used to be an NFL 2K, like back when the Dreamcast was out, because I had it. It was NFL 2K, the original, with Randy Moss on the cover. The best video.
That's why you love it.
The second best football game I've ever played, right behind ESPN. The one with T.O. on the cover.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about ESPN's.
Where after each week, you could watch SportsCenter.
Of course, why wouldn't you? Do you remember when they had... NCAA, they had the Erin Andrews show.
Yes.
Where she would have her weird show.
Or no, that was Madden. The extra point. They had the show after each week.
Maybe it's not Erin Andrews then.
Because Erin Andrews was on the Madden one when they had
They had one in NCAA where it was following your player that you would make. and it would follow him from high school and stuff like that, and where he's gonna go. And one time, just to see what would happen, I sent the kid to Tulane, of all places in the world, and literally she was like, "Yeah, it was like, I don't. This isn't the exact words, but she was like, yeah, surprisingly, he went to Tulane University," and it was like,
I do, because you would have like your top 3 offers, but then you could still choose a random
you could go
school.
anywhere you wanted.
Yeah,
and I was
I
like,
remember
nope, he's
that.
going somewhere shitty.
No, I remember that.
And she liked it. But anyways, yeah, I just don't buy that this was we probably hire 1 million lawyers and none of them said, no, it doesn't matter. It's part of the soundtrack. It's a song. You're paying for the song. You can use the song.
No, my first thought was, like you said, this is the league, like, because the last thing the league would want is his name in the game. His name anywhere associated with the NFL.
Yeah. Because they, are cock blocking him from the NFL. I want Madden 19 to, when they have like the, pregame show and they're going in and they're showing, all the patriotism and stuff like that. I want the announcers to, the first thing they go, wow, not a single player is kneeling on the sidelines and all of them are out on the field. They love America. God bless America. I want them to do that too. Because then we'll be like, oh yeah, the NFL really is in this shit for them. But yeah, I mean, the Colin Kaepernick thing, it's just funny to me of like, it just goes, the NFL is getting in its own way time after time after time. They want this NFL American anthem thing to go away so badly. They want that story to go away, but they keep bringing it up.
It's like the rule with the internet, where, for example, one of the big YouTubers I watch is Philly D. He was in a live stream before one of his shows. Somebody in the chat called him daddy. He forgot what the rules of the internet was and said, hey, thank you, but please don't call me daddy. Immediately after, everyone in that chat and everyone since then has started calling him Daddy DeFranco. That's how, like, not just the internet, that's how our culture works. Oh, you don't like us to do something? We're going to do it now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this upsets you? Perfect.
And it's the kind of thing where, like, the NFL is trying to...
Younger sisters are the same way. Oh, this annoys you?
Any sibling
I'm going to do it to get a rise out of you.
The NFL wanted this story to go away so badly, and then it would criticize people that are doing it.
Don't talk about it.
But then they're creating more storylines for it. Like, the cameras are going to find the one person that might be kneeling, and they're like, oh, we found him. It's still happening. And it's just like... If you just stop, they tried to make the rule. It just made things worse. The rule then went away.
Trump didn't help.
No, because he's very much in the ear of some of those owners.
He did not help.
And he keeps talking about it, too.
Just tweet.
And that's the thing with the Colin Kaepernick thing is they have a lawsuit going on, but they're being sued by Colin Kaepernick. And by trying to do this kind of shady thing here, which isn't a big deal. It's not a big deal if his name gets mentioned in a song. Just don't have that song be in the damn soundtrack if you didn't want it.
They can decide to say, hey, this song's not going to be in our game.
I don't know why they decided to put it in the game in the first place then, in that case. But they have this legal issue, and then they just made it worse because people already hate the NFL for the Colin Kaepernick thing.
And whoever picked out the soundtrack to EA has been fired.
Probably, but I would guess if there was a person in charge of it, they did that on purpose.
He's been demoted.
Yeah, they would have done that on purpose. Another thing I want to talk about with Madden 19 is just kind of... Madden games are kind of famous for it, but any of these... Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question before we get into that?
Yeah.
And this is because Dave and I talked about Madden on one of the weeks you weren't here. Long shot. You've actually played it.
Oh, I loved it.
I didn't... How, for you, are you excited that it's going to pick up where the first one left off?
No. I'm not excited that it's going to pick up where the next one went off. So you wanted a new,
different story with maybe someone completely different.
My thing is, I don't know what they would have done now, because they already gave me this story of...
Because there were 3 endings, right? The 3 possible endings?
Yeah. You either got drafted by your favorite team...
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. You didn't get drafted... at all, and that's it, I think, or you didn't get drafted and
you go to the same team.
You go to the same team, or I think you were to go to the team that doesn't, the rival or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, no, I'm not playing for the Packers.
Yeah.
that's just not happening. You got the choice.
Okay.
You could play for your favorite team or where Colt is, which is the rival.
Okay.
And I was like, sorry, Colt, we ain't playing for the Packers.
Yeah.
So too bad. But anyways, I liked Long Shot a lot. I had a lot of fun with it. I played it one morning, just playing it. My wife was watching me play it too. Like she was kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say she was really into it, but she was enjoying what was going on. And I don't want it to continue because I thought it ended well, and then I could continue. I could just make Wade in the game and keep playing as him. I'm like, so now you're going to kind of force him into this type of role of like, he's the backup and maybe somebody gets injured and now he's got a chance. I haven't followed what the storyline or any kind of hints or rumors about it might be or leaks. I don't know what they would have done.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it back up. So the first post from Jason Schreier on Kotaku was, the entertaining and surprisingly touching Madden story will return for Madden 19. EA said today, this was the 18th of July, Longshot will offer more control over Devin Wade and Colt Cruz's football quest. And the first comment was, is this an enhanced version of last year's Longshot story, or is this a second chapter that follows them into the NFL? And Shire said, here's the exact wording via EA. Fans can also look forward to the continuation of last year's first ever Madden NFL story mode with the return of Longshot Homecoming. Players will have more control over Devin Wade and Colt Cruz's football quest, with more NFL gameplay, more ways to impact the story, new storylines, and the ability to continue their Longshot journey within franchise and Ultimate Team.
I'm excited to play it because I thought the first one was good.
And I only asked
just kinda
because
wish
I
something
mentioned
would
to
be different.
Dave you had played
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I loved it. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's not amazing. It's not groundbreaking, but it was just enjoyable.
It was a good story.
It was a good story, exactly. And sure, it's full of quick time events and stuff like that. And if you don't like that kind of thing, if you don't like those games or Telltale, you're not going to enjoy this. But it was fun. Anybody could pick it up and play it. You didn't have to be a football fan to do so. I just kind of feel like, if I went into it, and maybe this is me because I love role-playing games, but if I went then played as Devin Wade and continued on his career, or Colt as well, and I had my story where they went and did this thing, and here's their career, but now it's like, well, that doesn't matter. Now we're doing this. Like, here's the canon version.
Yeah.
And then for me, that's just like I just kind of rather you do something different. Give me a different person. Give me a different story, but I don't want them to necessarily do another long shot thing of like, we're just going to do the same thing over again.
Because my question is, depending on what ending you got, was it going to be a Mass Effect thing where it takes the data from your old save and then starts it with
totally
whatever ending you do?
Could, or it'll just do, so Mass Effect...
where you pick the ending you want? And
yeah, originally... Mass Effect 1 was not on PlayStation 3. So for Mass Effect 2, they had this little storybook thing where it was like, here were some of the important choices.
What did you pick?
What did you or what would you have picked? They might just be like, last time on Longshot.
Yeah.
He gets the phone call. Which one of these teams did he pick?
And you choose.
And you choose. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. But, in that one, like, I don't think he's going to play if Aaron Rodgers is out there. I don't think he's getting a chance.
Well, and that's what Dave had mentioned, where it's like, I'm sorry, if I'm going to the Patriots, I'm not starting over Tom Brady.
Probably an injury thing.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee that wherever you go, it's going to be an injury week 1 or something like that throws you out there.
Unless it's the Bills, because they don't have a quarterback.
Still, injury to not Jared Allen, Josh Allen. To Jared Allen too.
Jared Allen.
He's quarterback number 2. He comes out and he plays quarterback and gets hurt week 1.
Oh man.
The thing I wanted to mention though with this, and the one thing I also think, since we're about to talk about prices and stuff like that,
that kind of derailed us.
They need to release Longshot on its own, standalone. Just let us play the damn game, because
an entire.
It doesn't have to be an entire thing. Just give me like a $20. If you were to charge me $20 to play the 6 hours that is Longshot, I'd do it.
Like a $20 downloadable content.
Yeah, I would buy it. I would. And I'm not the only one that would do it. It costs $60 to play Madden, and they want some of that type of stuff. They don't want to do that because they want you to pay the full $60. And I will. I guess I will. I mean, I was kind of back and forth on it, but I guess I'm going to do it. They have this version here where it's just the game. That's it. Antonio Brown's on the cover. Fantastic. Then they have this $80 version, which is the Hall of Fame edition, that has let's see, it's got Terrell Owens on the cover, and it costs $20 more. The not advantage, but the extra thing you do is essentially for the card game, where you get the players and cards. Mutt. You can have Brian Urlacher, maybe Rod Woodson, Dan Marino, Terrell Owens. Terrell Davis. No Ray Lewis, interestingly enough. His rambling speech in the Hall of Fame game was incredible. It was great.
Was it?
They, first of all, it was when Lamar Jackson came out to play for the first time, and he just rambled and talked about how he sometimes thinks about God, and he goes, God, we did this. And it's like...
Yeah, he's big on that. He's big on that.
Yeah, it always kind of bugs me when athletes are like, doing stuff like that, because I'm like, not against the religious side or anything like that, but just in the sense of like, you really think that some all-powerful being that created the universe cares about your football career? I don't think he does.
You also allegedly killed a guy.
There's also that part
allegedly.
Too. They did not introduce him as an alleged murderer. When he came out,
wanted him to.
I thought it would have been entertaining. But anyways, I also always think that of like, a guy like Ray Lewis, like, God's on my side. He's helping me. I'm like, you really think that nobody on the other team is thinking that God's on their side too?
Yeah.
But anyways, so you get this and you get 2 new all Madden uniforms, whatever. And 12 gold team fantasy packs. All right, so you get some extra stuff. And surprisingly, that's the only additional version that I know of for Madden. I have zero interest in the Hall of Fame edition. I don't mind having Antonio Brown on the cover. There was only really one time where I was like, I don't want that guy on my damn cover, and that was Brett Favre. I was very anti having him on the cover, so I had to pay extra for whatever version had not him on the cover.
Yeah.
But all these extra stuff, and I know it doesn't necessarily hurt to have this. You pay an extra $20 for this extra stuff, but I want to kind of spin it off of Madden a little bit really quickly to some of these other games where they will have a $120 version that has a steelbook and it has a little figurine, and here's a $200 version with a map included too that you can frame on your wall and stuff like that. I think it's ridiculous. And it works perfectly because you just bought a Spider-Man PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I'm the person who's like, why do we have all this extra stuff? Just sell the game for $60. It's because people buy it. But I think those are ridiculous. And how many times do you end up saying like, oh, super limited edition, and then you walk into GameStop 4 months later and, we're selling it still.
For me, I didn't buy it because it's limited edition. I bought mine because... it looks cool as hell. Like, just to have... When I told Dave about it, he's like, you're going to buy it. And I'm like, well, why? I don't know. He goes, Ricky, first off, it's a red PlayStation. Like, your favorite color is red. You're going to buy it. On top of that, it's Spider-Man, which is your second favorite hero. It's a custom Spider-Man PlayStation. The controller looks cool. And I was like, you know what? I get the game anyways. I get all the DLC that they're coming out with, all in this one package. That's why that was easier. In Madden, I will never buy the Hall of Fame thing. I could give 2 craps about 12 golden packs for Mutt because I don't play Mutt.
I tried to play it, and it's like, I like the idea, but there's, it's just, I don't know, there's too much of an investment for me.
Well, because like the only time I played Mutt was an NHL game. And it was the only time in a EA game I actually spent real money to get packs, get cards. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this is the same rabbit hole I fell down as a kid collecting the baseball cards. But the thing about that, I got to keep the card. With this one, it was, after this many games, you don't have a new contract card? You can't use him anymore.
Yeah. And that bugs the hell out of me. That's why I don't play Ultimate Team. But they have a bunch of these for a lot of different things. And... there's a few that I went and I spent the extra money for something. I got the Steelbook for Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know. It was Metal Gear, so I had to. I love Metal Gear. I got the stupid... I don't know why I did it, but I got the stupid Fallout 4 that had a damn Pip-Boy so I could put my damn cell phone into it. I don't know. I was single at the time, so why not?
I was single at the time.
So I had money to spend. But, it's just like, You can do things like that, and I just don't. I just don't understand all the extra stuff, and I guess it's for super fans and stuff like that. But I mean, a game I absolutely love, Persona 5. I love the Persona games. I didn't buy it for that, and they had so many different versions.
Isn't it such a long game, though?
Oh, it takes like 100 hours to play it. It's amazing. The one before it takes about 100 hours too. I was on a plane going to Seattle. I don't know if I complained about this to you, but
No.
My wife and I didn't get to sit together.
Oh, so like Dave and I coming back from VidCon on a red eye.
We were both in the damn middle seats, far apart. I was in the front of the plane. She was in the back of the plane. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. And I'm like, well, I got my Vita. We're loading up Persona 4 again.
Hell yeah.
It's New Game Plus time. We're at hour like 110. We're getting to hour 111 now. But I just don't. I see something like this, and it will never not strike me. Double negative, but it will never not strike me as just a money grab, and that always kind of pisses me off a little bit. It's like the season pass shit, stuff like that. It always kind of pisses me off where
For
I
like
just
the
go,
Call of Duty stuff.
yeah, it just, and Call of Duty does it too, where it's like you can get this one and you'll get an actual gun, you know.
Yeah.
It just makes me mad and inspires me more to not buy it, you know, not to spend that extra money.
That's why I know I say it all the time. That's why I like Overwatch. I bought the game for, was it $40? I think it was $40, maybe $60. But you buy the game, they've released how many new characters, how many new maps, now they have a team deathmatch mode.
Yeah.
They have so many different things. How much money do players have to pay for it? Zero. And you could say, well, it's Blizzard. They don't need your money anyways. They're getting that supplement somewhere else, depending on, because like WoW has extra charges if you want to like change factions or do this or transfer your character.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like Blizzard needs your money for that, but it's like that's why I like the game. It's like I don't have to pay for each character. It's just, hey, we came up with this character. Cool, you guys got him.
Yeah.
Here you go.
The
Have
extra
fun.
stuff is a little frustrating, and you know that's why one reason I do enjoy playing on my PC more often. I'm not a PC gamer, but I enjoy playing on it more often because I can just wait for a Steam sale or something like that. I can always find something cheap.
And they're just cheap games.
And like the game I just nonstop keep playing on my PC is Crusader Kings 2.
Okay.
And I've been playing it
I think you
for a
mentioned
long
that
ass time.
on an old episode.
And they came out with it one day, or they not. That's not what I mean, but one day they just said, "Hey, you can get it for free."
Yeah. And
you
you're
know,
like, hell yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't like everybody does a free for the next 2 days. It was, no, you get it, it's yours. And to respect that, after I played it and was like, this game's
donated?
awesome. No, I just bought some DLC because I have a ton of DLC. So I was like, yeah, I will buy the DLC now for this because you gave it to me for free. So I will spend $60 on DLC or whatever.
To supplement what the game would have cost.
Yeah, exactly. To give you guys what is worth. But stuff like this, when I see that with Madden, and it's like you're paying for a different player on the cover half the time. Like, I mean, they're doing that to hopefully get Terrell Owens fans to pay more money for him on the cover.
But Mark, guess what is back in franchise mode?
What's that?
Draft class creator.
Ooh, that's fun.
I cannot wait for that. I am day one putting in the entire, or finding someone who probably did it.
Yeah, find somebody who did it for you.
I am getting the college players that are like, because what I used to do is when NCAA was a thing.
Yeah, upload those characters.
That first year, I would go through each draft class for like who was going to be the big time players. Put their actual names in there. So like at the time, the one I remember is like the Jameis Winston Mariota draft. I would do that for the next 4 draft classes. Sim the first year, export. Sim the second year, export. Third year, export. Fourth year, export. So I would have 4 years of draft classes so I could get these real players that I would be seeing in drafts in my Madden game.
Yeah. And I will always say whenever these football games come up, NCAA, I miss it so much. I still have it. I still play it.
2K, the NBA side, does the same thing. You can create a draft class, And there's people that'll create the next year's draft class, and I'll download it every franchise.
I feel like they didn't have a choice this time because it's being released on PC as well.
Yeah.
So there's going to be mods. They're not going to be able to avoid it. So I think they're just like, all right, we'll just give it to them now.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they ever took it away. I don't know why they took away creating your playbook. I don't know why they took away letting you have just a created team. I don't know why they took away giving you you now have 3 options. Like if you're gonna be in Chicago, you're the Cougars, the Blues, or some other stupid thing. And like those are your only options. And here's the 3 jerseys you can choose from. Don't take these things away. Let me have my choices. Let me just make stuff up.
The thing that I think will be interesting is because I haven't really liked this. Apparently, coaching schemes are going to matter more this year. I don't know how much of a fan
for the players
you were on. Because it says, and this is straight from the EA Sports website, your coach's scheme matters more this year thanks to the Scheme Fits feature. Build your team with players that match your scheme, and they will develop faster, giving you more success on the field. Start by choosing an offensive and defensive scheme to make your decision easier. Scroll through the available schemes to see how many players on your roster are a scheme fit.
I don't mind it.
Like,
I'm not in love with the idea, but I don't mind it.
The only thing I hate about like scheme fits is I liked it back in the old days of I want this player because I love this player. I don't want it to be like, well, I really like this player, but it doesn't fit my scheme, so I'm not going to sign him.
No, but I think they'll just play well enough. They'll still be a good player's still going to be good. Doesn't matter what scheme they're in. It's just that they're not necessarily going to, I guess, get as big of a development bonus. I don't think it's going to matter too much. But with that being said, I am excited to have Madden on a PC. You know,
are you buying it for PC?
I think I will. I think I'm going to because I'm excited for the mods. That's really what I want.
Are you going to make any mods?
No.
Mark's like, I don't got time for that.
I don't. I do not have time. And I love playing on my laptop because then it's like, hey, wife, watch whatever you want on TV.
I'll play on my laptop.
I'll be right here. You don't have to be upset that I'm not here. I am here. But anyways, any final thoughts, anything else that you want to say about gaming and news and all that fun stuff?
I am surprised you don't have a Switch. Or do you have a Switch?
The Switch? No, I don't have a Switch.
I'm surprised you don't have a Switch.
Only
because of that fact alone of, hey, I can play my game while my wife is on her computer.
I debated it, but I feel like I have my PC, I've got my Vita, I've got a few different things. So thank you guys for checking it out. Thank you guys for coming and listening to Too Old to Game. There was no Dave Oster here today, but that's all right. We got along fine without him. So make sure you guys go and check out. I say that just to make Dave angry.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys go check out mostvaluablepodcast.com where you can see everything going on MVP. You can also see the store where we sell T-shirts. Get yourself an MVP T-shirt there.
Neither of us have it on right now.
No, but they look nice. It looks like this if it was a black T-shirt and it said Most Valuable Podcasts on it. And then go to patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcasts where you can go ahead and be a patron and maybe even call into this very podcast or any of our other podcasts.
$10 tier, baby.
Hit the like button, the sub button so you know what else is going on. Comment down below. And then, of course, let us know what you thought about today's show. And go on to, as well, iTunes and give any MVP podcast a 5-star review and let us know what you think. That's Ricky Widmer, Ricky _ or just Ricky Widmer.
Just Ricky Widmer.
Ricky Widmer on
no
Twitter. No
underscores here. Dave's the underscore.
That's right. Well, Dave don't tweet.
Yeah,
and
underscores.
I'm the Mark Weber on Twitter or follow Most Valuable Pod. But it's been fun.
Dub them ease.
Dub them ease. We will see you next week with even more Too Old to Game.